Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine, and I just wanted to say I love him.
Prince Bigi and Paris Jackson have always kept a careful distance from the spotlight when it comes to their father's story. Unlike the endless headlines and public debates surrounding Michael Jackson's life, his children have shared only small pieces of their memories, choosing silence over constant attention. Their words about him have been rare, but whenever they do speak, they reveal a deeply personal side of the man the world thought it knew.
Some people were really upset that I didn't put my father on that list. The question was not, who do you think is a musical genius?
But when they finally open the door to those private memories, a very different image begins to emerge. Behind the global fame, the cameras, and the constant public attention was a father who was deeply involved in his children's lives. Prince and Bigi have described moments of guidance, creativity, and connection. A father who shared his passion for filmmaking with them and encouraged them to see stories not just as entertainment, but as a way to understand the world around them.
What he was all about, and that's just kind of what each of us want to do, and kind of makes things that people hopefully enjoy but also can benefit their lives.
He was someone who wanted to create things that mattered. Stories that people could enjoy, but also experiences that could inspire and make a difference. That belief became the foundation of a powerful bond between Michael Jackson and his children. Each of them protects his legacy in their own way. Through filmmaking, environmental passion, and defending his name, they continue carrying pieces of the man they knew beyond the spotlight. Their memories reveal a personal side of the King of Pop, a father, a creator, and a figure whose influence stayed with them long after the cameras stopped rolling. In a 2016 conversation with the Los Angeles Times, Prince Michael Jackson opened up about the first time he truly understood how famous his father was. He remembered standing at Disneyland, looking out through a window and seeing crowds of people waving toward him. At that age, he thought it was completely normal, so he simply waved back. For Prince, Michael Jackson was not just a worldwide icon. He was a father who was deeply involved, present, and committed to guiding his children.
To you about, first of all, people have already seen the movie. A lot of folks here at KCLA, they're like, best music.
He created a home where classic films became lessons in creativity. He introduced them to legends like Chaplin and Fred Astaire, then explained what made each moment powerful. It was more than watching movies. It was a personal film education from their father. Prince shared that losing Michael at just 12 years old left a pain that never fully disappeared. But he continues to transform that loss into meaningful stories.
Studio here, and that's what he was all about, and that's just kind of what each of us want to do, and kind of makes...
He continues to follow the values his father taught him. For Prince, Michael's message was always about compassion, healing, and making a positive impact. He once described his father as someone who made his children feel truly valued, as if they were the most important people in his entire world. Over the years, a few images of Michael Jackson's children have sparked intense discussion among fans. Some viewers believe certain moments captured deep emotions, especially in Paris Jackson's expressions, leading to endless speculation about what they might have been feeling or sharing. But beyond the theories, the real story remains with the family themselves and the memories they choose to reveal. Bigi Jackson's rare public appearance offered another glimpse into Michael's legacy. In 2021, Prince Michael Jackson II, known to the world as Bigi, spoke with Good Morning Britain from the Jackson family home in Calabasas. Standing inside the place where so many memories were created, he reflected on the history surrounding the house and studio. For Bigi, the space represented more than a famous location. It represented his father's creativity, his passion, and the message he wanted to leave behind. During the conversation, Bigi shifted attention toward one issue he deeply cared about: climate change.
Studio here, and that's what he was all about, and that's just kind of what each of us want to do, and kind of
carrying forward the message behind Michael's Heal the World vision, which supported environmental efforts and tree planting projects across many countries. Bigi explained that his father's love for the planet was never just for show. To Michael, protecting nature was a genuine responsibility. something he wanted his children to understand from a young age. Bigi said that everyone needs to recognize the importance of caring for the earth. He believes there is still work to be done, but his generation understands how much the future depends on those choices. He also remembered how his father would take him to see animals and explain the connection between all living things. Michael wanted his children to respect and protect the world around them. Paris Jackson's emotional defense of her father became one of the most unforgettable moments after his passing. During Michael Jackson's 2009 memorial service, 11-year-old Paris stepped forward, holding the microphone with overwhelming emotion, and through tears, she began to speak.
Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine.
That spontaneous moment became one of Paris Jackson's most remembered statements. Years later, she described a childhood that was far different from the image people saw in the media. She remembered a father who taught her simple things: cooking, painting, dancing, and above everything else, he was simply her dad. Paris has repeatedly challenged the public image created by tabloids, explaining that the strange stories never reflected the private man she knew at home. Following in his footsteps, she has used her own platform to support causes close to her heart, including mental health awareness, while sharing parts of her personal journey with honesty. She once said Michael was one of the most ordinary people she had ever known, a man who just happened to become one of the greatest performers in history. As a lasting tribute, Paris later placed her father's signature on her wrist, carrying a permanent symbol of the bond they shared.
Naturally, I chose folk artists by not putting my father on the list.
Michael Jackson's story was not only remembered by his children. Over the years, several well-known figures also shared their own personal experiences with him. One of the strongest voices defending him was Macaulay Culkin. For Culkin, Michael was more than a famous friend. He was someone who understood him in a way few others could. During a 2019 appearance on Michael Rosenbaum's Inside of You podcast, Culkin spoke about their unusual connection. He said they related because both of them experienced childhoods shaped by fame instead of normal life. He remembered moments filled with laughter, late-night adventures, trips to toy stores, and playful battles that felt like a simple escape from the pressure surrounding them. Culkin also stood by Jackson during the 2005 trial, stating that he had never experienced anything inappropriate. After Michael's passing, Culkin reflected on the impact their friendship had on his life. He described losing someone who represented a major part of his childhood and credited Michael for teaching him the importance of staying genuine and embracing who you are. He maintained that the Michael he knew was kind, playful, and someone who simply wanted to enjoy life. Another longtime supporter was comedian Chris Tucker. Their friendship began after appearing together in Michael Jackson's You Rock My World short film. Tucker later defended Jackson during the 2005 trial, saying his personal experiences showed him a caring and generous person. Behind the scenes, Tucker also expressed concern about people he believed were taking advantage of Michael's kindness and willingness to help others.
You can't help but sing her songs. How is that?
Chris Tucker, the friend who saw the real Michael. Chris Tucker's connection with Michael Jackson went far beyond their work together. Their friendship grew through countless late-night conversations, where they discussed everything from faith and comedy to the things that inspired them in life. Tucker remembered a side of Michael that few people witnessed, a man who laughed easily, performed funny impressions, and enjoyed simple moments away from the pressure of fame. To Chris, Michael was never just the world-famous entertainer. He was a genuine friend, almost like a brother. Tucker described him as one of the most generous and warm-hearted people he had ever known. Someone whose laughter could completely change the energy in a room. Bianca, the artist who followed his blueprint for Bianca, Michael Jackson was more than an inspiration. He was the foundation of what performance could become. Throughout her career, she has repeatedly spoken about the influence Michael had on her journey as an artist. At the 2006 World Music Awards, she openly acknowledged that his music and performances played a major role in shaping the performer she became. After Michael's passing, Beyonce shared a personal message he had written to her, encouraging her creativity and reminding her to continue pushing forward. In her documentary, Life is But a Dream, she reflected on how Michael changed the rules of entertainment, breaking boundaries and showing future generations what was possible on stage. To Beyonce, Michael created a level of excellence that continues to challenge artists around the world. His standard of greatness became something she constantly tried to reach. Usher, the young performer who learned from a legend Usher, experienced Michael Jackson's influence at an age when most young artists were still discovering their own identity. At just 13 years old, Usher spent time observing Michael closely, watching how he prepared, rehearsed, and connected with audiences. Years later, Usher explained that Michael taught him something much deeper than dance moves. He learned the importance of emotion, control, and understanding the power of a moment. Michael showed him that sometimes the strongest performance is not about constant movement, but about knowing exactly when to hold back. That lesson stayed with Usher throughout his career. Before every tour, he remembered Michael's dedication, his endless rehearsals, and his commitment to creating an unforgettable emotional experience. Britney Spears, the dream of performing beside her idol for Britney Spears, sharing the stage with Michael Jackson was the realization of a childhood dream. In 2001, she joined Michael during his 30th anniversary celebration to perform The Way You Make Me Feel. Although Britney was overwhelmed with nerves standing beside the artist she had admired for years, she remembered Michael calming her with a simple smile and words of encouragement. That moment became a full-circle experience for Britney. The young fan who studied his performances was suddenly performing alongside the person who inspired her. She later credited Michael's creativity, stage presence, and unforgettable productions as major influences on her own career. Justin Timberlake, the performer who learned from the king Justin Timberlake, has always recognized Michael Jackson as one of the biggest influences on his career. When he received the MTV Video Vanguard Award in 2013, Timberlake made his feelings clear. Michael Jackson was the reason he danced. From studying Michael's legendary performances to receiving personal encouragement from him, Timberlake said much of his artistic identity was shaped by watching the King of Pop. He believed Michael's influence went beyond music because his impact.
He was a king. Long live the king.
Slash, the guitarist who experienced Michael's musical vision, Slash, the legendary guitarist from Guns N' Roses, discovered a completely different side of Michael Jackson through their collaborations. Working together on Black or White and other projects, Slash remembered Michael as an artist with incredible focus and a quiet intensity that pushed everyone around him to deliver their best work. He explained that Michael often communicated ideas through emotion rather than technical instructions. Instead of simply describing a sound, Michael focused on the feeling he wanted the music to create. Their collaboration surprised many people because they came from completely different musical worlds. But Slash believed Michael proved that true artistry could exist beyond genres and labels. Years later, Slash continued to describe Michael as a powerful creative force. He said he never witnessed anything that changed his view of him and remembered their time together as working with a truly unique artist. Eminem, a complicated relationship with an icon. Not every interaction surrounding Michael Jackson was filled with admiration. In 2004, Eminem created controversy with his music video Just Lose It, where he mocked Michael's appearance and past public struggles. The video received criticism, and Michael himself spoke out against what he considered a disrespectful portrayal. However, years later, Eminem acknowledged Michael's enormous influence through his own lyrics, recognizing the unmatched position he held in popular culture. Although Eminem never gave a direct public apology, his later references showed a complicated relationship with Michael's legacy, one that mixed criticism with a reluctant recognition of greatness. Even among those who challenged him, Michael Jackson's impact remained impossible to ignore. Gene Simmons, the voice of controversy Gene Simmons, the co-founder of KISS, became one of the most outspoken critics connected to Michael Jackson's story. Simmons made serious accusations against Michael, claiming to have knowledge from within the entertainment industry. However, his statements were disputed by Jackson's supporters, who questioned the lack of publicly verified evidence behind his claims. The Jackson family and many fans pointed to Michael's 2005 court acquittal as a major part of his legal history. Despite the criticisms surrounding his comments, Simmons continued expressing his views during later controversies involving Michael's legacy. His statements created a strong divide, with some people supporting his perspective, while others strongly rejected his claims. James Safechuck. The allegations that changed the conversation. James Safechuck became one of the central figures connected to later allegations involving Michael Jackson. His story was featured in the documentary Leaving Neverland, where he described alleged experiences from his childhood involving the singer. Safechuck had previously denied any misconduct during earlier investigations. But years later, he shared a different account and presented personal memories and items he believed supported his claims. The Jackson estate challenged parts of his story, disputing the timeline and questioning specific details mentioned in his allegations. The claims became another major chapter in the ongoing debate surrounding Michael Jackson's personal life and legacy. Madonna, remembering the human behind the legend after Michael Jackson's death. Madonna delivered one of the most emotional tributes to him at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. She described Michael as both a global superstar and a human being who carried pain behind the fame. Madonna argued that the world often celebrated Michael during his greatest moments, but later turned against him when his struggles became public. She remembered seeing a more vulnerable side of him, someone who experienced insecurity despite being one of the most famous people on earth. Her tribute created mixed reactions. Some viewers saw it as a sincere reflection from one legend honoring another, while others questioned her intentions. But for many people, the speech represented something deeper, a reminder that behind the fame, records, and worldwide attention was a person who experienced both incredible love and profound loneliness.
Nobody ever gave on stage like Michael Jackson.
Janet Jackson, the sister who protected his memory. Janet Jackson shared one of the deepest personal connections with Michael, not as a superstar, but as his younger sister. Throughout her life, Janet has remained one of the strongest defenders of her brother's memory. In her 2022 documentary, she described Michael as more than a famous entertainer. He was her big brother, someone who meant everything to her. She remembered him as a person who gave her comfort during a childhood filled with fame, pressure, and constant public attention. During Michael's 2005 trial, Janet showed her loyalty by appearing in similar courtroom clothing, standing beside him during one of the most difficult chapters of his life. After his passing, she chose to keep certain anniversaries private, believing those moments belonged to personal grief rather than public attention. Janet has continued expressing her belief that, with time, people will understand the complete truth about her brother's life. She has carried Michael's memory into her own performances, including wearing tributes dedicated to him during her tours. Janet has said that she still feels his presence whenever she performs on stage. Stevie Wonder, a tribute from a musical legend at Michael Jackson's 2009 memorial service. Stevie Wonder delivered one of the most emotional tributes of the night. Sitting behind the piano, Wonder performed Never Dreamed You'd Leave in Summer while remembering the loss of someone he deeply respected. He reflected on seeing Michael as a young performer and watching him grow into one of the greatest entertainers the world had ever known. To Stevie, Michael was more than a fellow musician. He was like family, someone whose humor, kindness, and creativity created a lasting friendship. Wonder reminded the audience that Michael's message of love, unity, and healing should continue even after his passing. For Stevie Wonder, Michael's greatest contribution was not only the music he created, but the message of bringing people together. Lionel Richie. The brother behind We Are the World, Lionel Richie, shared one of Michael Jackson's most meaningful creative moments through the creation of We Are the World. Together, they helped bring some of the biggest names in music into one studio for a humanitarian mission that reached millions of people around the world. Richie later remembered the recording session as a unique mixture of chaos and creativity. But Michael remained completely focused on creating something special. He described Michael as a perfectionist who combined extraordinary talent with a genuinely caring heart. The song became a global anthem and raised significant support for people affected by famine. After Michael's passing, Richie reflected on the loneliness that often surrounded his friend despite his incredible fame. But he also remembered that legendary recording night as a moment when Michael was completely in his element, creating something unforgettable. Quincy Jones, the complicated creative partnership Quincy Jones, shared one of the most important and complex relationships of Michael Jackson's career. As the producer behind Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad, Jones helped shape some of the most influential albums in music history. Together, they created a sound that transformed popular music forever. However, their relationship later became complicated due to disagreements involving business, royalties, and creative decisions. In a 2018 interview, Jones made critical comments about Michael while still recognizing his extraordinary abilities as a performer. Even during moments of disagreement, he acknowledged that Michael possessed a rare talent, the ability to master almost any musical style. Despite their conflicts, Jones continued to express affection for him, describing Michael as someone who could be challenging but was still like family. Their partnership remains one of the most significant collaborations ever seen in the music industry. Eddie Murphy, the playful side of Michael Jackson. Eddie Murphy experienced a side of Michael Jackson that many people rarely saw. After working together on the music video Watsupuitu, the two developed a friendship built around humor, creativity, and laughter. Murphy later shared that Michael had a playful personality hidden behind his massive fame. Away from the spotlight, they spent time joking, doing impressions, discussing movies, and enjoying simple conversations. To Eddie, Michael was not only a worldwide superstar, he was someone who loved making people smile and bringing happiness to others. Kobe Bryant. Learning the mindset of greatness, Kobe Bryant viewed Michael Jackson as an example of what true dedication looked like. The basketball legend explained that Michael taught him one of the most important lessons about success. Greatness comes from the work nobody sees. Kobe studied Michael's intense rehearsals, endless preparation, and refusal to accept anything less than excellence. He applied that same philosophy to his own basketball training, believing that mastery was created through discipline, repetition, and commitment. The two often spoke about creativity, preparation, and the mindset required to leave a lasting legacy. After Michael's passing, Kobe repeatedly watched This Is It for motivation and inspiration. To Kobe, Michael proved that extreme dedication could become a powerful gift when used in pursuit of greatness.